Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. And today's video we'll be talking about the top teams in the Element Cup Remix. I somehow don't have Remix here. Imagine in a Remix Cup we don't have a Remix title. So it's basically Element Cup, Fire, Water, Grass. My name is Yasser Alid and I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Yasser Alid Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And during the weekend 3 p.m. Central Time or sometimes 8 p.m. Central Time. And today's video, we'll be talking about the Element Cup Remix. So it's basically similar to the last one, except that there is some bans. It's a little cup format, which means 500 CP. And only fire, water, and grass type Pokemon will be eligible. Plus, the Pokemon has to be evolvable. What does that mean? If a Pokemon doesn't evolve, you cannot use them. The Pokemon has to be able to evolve in a way where you can use them. So as an example, Chinchou, you can use them. But this season, they banned the most 3 used Pokemons, which is Chinchou, Ducklet, and Cottony, because those were like the most common 3 in the cup. And Salandit, because you have to do like something that's against the TOS, where like you have to make a new account that's below level 20, then trade them to your main account so you can get them below 500 CP to be able to get them into this cup. So it's a very inaccessible Pokemon to most of the people, and then finally they made a good decision by banning it, which is a good sign, to be honest. Like, imagine banning Bastidon from Great League. That would be very healthy, right? And then people are just gonna run double charm. Good advice from Yasser. Let's go. Yo, welcome in, guys. So, the most common Pokemons that I am predicting that will be like in almost every team, I divided them into Water, Grass, Fire because those are like the main or the only 3 types that you can use. In the Water type category, Dewpider is the most common Pokemon, and I think it has Bug Bite. What does it have? Bug Bite, Mirror-Coat, Bubble Beam. Like, it doesn't have the best moveset, but it has the best bulk. So that's why it ranks very high on PvPoke, the best Pokemon Go PvP website. The second favorite for me is Celio. Why? Because with Celio, you have the option to run Lick and Ice Shard. With Lick, you provide a neutral damage to every type in this cup. And those Pokemons are always unique and always good in the safe swap option. Why? Because nothing resists these safe swaps. I know someone's going to be like, oh, this Pokemon resist them, and that Pokemon probably like something like Litleo, because that Pokemon will have like, you know, some normal subtyping. But again, nothing in the top 20 PvPoke resists this. I don't want to say top 20 because now people will be like, no, that Pokemon is top 20 and resist it. But again, Celio is so good. Why? It has a decent bulk, it has a decent coverage, and you can go with Ice Shard to beat the grass, or just Lick to beat the grass, water, and the fire. I mean, there is no way the fire can beat you because you have Aqua Tail, which is a super effective, it's a water move that does super effective to the fire, and you have Icy Wind, which is the best ice charge move in the game now. What about Slowpoke? Slowpoke is probably the hardest hitting fast move Pokemon in this cup, and there was like a team where people were running double Confusion. And if you have a Shadow one, it's much better because you just Confusion down everything in the 2 shield. There is this Pokemon. Yo, what's the name of this Pokemon, chat? Do you get to Icy Wind before getting Razor Leaf down? Yes, you do get one. You do get one, Thor. Tortuga? Yeah, Tortuga. Why this Pokemon is good? I think it has a Rock Fast move. Again, it's good and provide a neutral damage versus most of the types, versus the main types. So that's like why it's unique, because it has Rock Throw. Wooper is probably my favorite among all of these because it's one of my favorite Pokemons. And it's the spammiest Pokemon in this cup. I think it gets to a move every like 4 fast moves, similar to Rapidash in the Willpower Cup. It's Body Slam every 4 fast move. Every 4 fast move, there is a Body Slam. And this thing is attack weighted with like 2 Body Slams KO basically anything. That's the main water type Pokemon. There is 2. Mantike and Marian thing. Those 2 Pokemons have decent coverage, but I don't think decent bulk, but their charge moves are kinda overwhelming. Marini, okay. Their charge moves are kinda overwhelming because they don't hit hard from the fast move, nor from the neither from the fast move nor from the charge move. With Celio hits hard from both. Okay. Moving to the grass category. The best grass Pokemon according to Mr. PvPoke, or like the website PvPoke, is Bulbasaur. Why Bulbasaur? Because Bulbasaur can beat all the grass, all the water, but lose to the fire, where Chikorita shined, because Chikorita has Body Slam, where Bulbasaur doesn't have Body Slam. Bulbasaur had Seed Bomb, Vine Whip, and Sludge, I think, where Chikorita has Vine Whip, Body Slam, and Body Slam hits everything neutral. And Body Slam is one of the best charge moves in the game. So that's why some people prefer Chikorita over Bulbasaur. Plus, Chikorita is bulkier. Bulbasaur hits a bit harder, but again, it's personal preference. Do you like the bulk or you want to hit harder? Something like this. Because Bulbasaur with the Sludge can hit everything in neutral, right? And you beat all the grass. There is also the Egg. Alolan, it has to be Shadow. If I have something Shadow here, you have to have the Shadow. Why? Because the shadows here like depend on, like, they are like very dependent on their fast move damage. So you need the shadow so you can hit harder on from the fast move. So most of the people who run they run it with the Slowbro as a double confusion strat, and then you shield one, you flip swap, then your lead will be able to be aligned versus the other Pokemon. And pretty much people either use 3 of the same type or 2 of the same type, and the third one is just a coverage Pokemon. So technically, if you lose lead and you flip swap, your lead will be able to hard counter their backline. Why? Because this cup is 3 types. Fire that beats the grass, grass that beats water, water that beats fire. It's a circle. Another good Pokemon here is, I literally put the name so I don't forget it. Fomantees or something. It has Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade. So it's basically the spammiest Pokemon. It's a spammier than Chikorita. And in the 2-shield scenario, you will be able to flip more matchups because you can just auto-spam everything. Execute. Yes, Execute. That's the Pokemon I'm talking about. Now, here's the difference. Oddish and Bedu both has Laser Leaf. So it's up to you to decide which one you like. Some people like Oddish more because it hits a bit harder, but both are viable, both are good. Bedu, I said Bedu, I didn't say Bidoof. What the heck? I'm aware of that. So yeah, Bedu and Oddish. Bedu is like kinda less obtainable than Oddish, but both like kind of now do not exist. So if you have one, if you need to use one, you have to have it from before. Aware. Thank you, chat. The fire, there is only one good fire Pokemon, and it's pretty much is the best safe swap right now after banning Ducklet. Why? Because it has Body Slam and Wither Bolt, so you have fire move for the grass, and you have Body Slam for the water and the fire. And Vulpix can pretty much flip any swap with Energy Lead. By the way, you run Quick Attack. You don't run Fire Spin or Ember. I don't know the fast move. Okay? Why? Because, again, you need, if you're using a Pokemon a safe swap, you need to have a fast move that does neutral damage to almost everything. Like Vulpix and the 2 can flip the Celio matchup, as long as they don't do some Icy Wind stuff. Yo, don't give a shout out to Crimson. Hot take, but I'm excited for Catch Cup with my hot spankling new Trev. Yo, good for you. So yeah, basically, it's Vulpix or Shadow Vulpix. Shadow Vulpix is better than Vulpix in the 1-shield. Non-Shadow is much better in the 2-shield. So if you're someone who like to play for swap, I recommend using the non-Shadow Vulpix. If you're someone who doesn't care about winning swap and doesn't double shield his swap or their swap, use the Shadow one. Now moving into Slugma, the Crimson's signature Pokemon. What's good about it? It has Rock Throw, which does provide neutral damage to pretty much every type and does super effective to the fire. Okay, so that's the main thing about Slugma. So those are the main stuff. Now moving into the anti-meta picks, picks that are good but they aren't solid enough to be meta. Tentacruel. Yo, Tentacruel is the evolved form. Okay, Tenta. Let's just say Tenta. Like, it's a good poison Pokemon, but it's not as good as Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur has more coverage and beats the same stuff and more. Lotad, it's a Razor Leaf Pokemon. Tentacool. Lotad is probably like the most expensive one because you can have a level 50 Lotad if I am correct. Spheal. It's something that most people might have. Shadow Carbine. What's good at? It's just someone in chat said it. I think it was One Large Pizza. He said he's gonna use this Pokemon. So I'm like, okay, I don't have it in the slide, so let me just add it. Poliwag has Bubble, I think. Bubble Beam, Body Slam. I am not sure about the Body Slam. Please don't call me out on the YouTube comments about that. But it's a Pokemon that can fight for the swap, can flip swap, as long as it's not a grass Pokemon. Isn't that the case for every Pokemon? As long as you don't get hard counter, you can flip swap. Well, yes, but this Pokemon has Bubble Beam, so you can debuff them to the Oblivion. Binacle, what's Binacle good at? Well, it's good at being the second best rock Pokemon after Slugma. Is Slugma even good? No, none of them is good. But if you're just trying to find a good rock Pokemon, that's two. We forgot Litwick. I didn't add it intentionally because I don't think people are gonna use a new stuff like Litwick when like they can just abuse Vulpix, right? Wait, Litwick is actually the Pokemon that can wall Vulpix because every Vulpix run quick attack and Litwick double resist, but Litwick doesn't even have defense. So even when it double resist, it doesn't do damage. It doesn't resist technically because you have zero defense almost. Thank you, Jake. Pumpakaboo, it's just a fun Pokemon, you know, like because there's 4 different sizes, and if you have a shiny, it's one of the best shinies in the entire game. So if I have a shiny, I would use it, by the way. Kabuto, what's the thing good at? I think PokeK is gonna make a video about this Pokemon. Pretty much he loves using this Pokemon, the Kabuto, the Kabutops, in every league, every possible scenario. That's it. Is it good? No, it's not good. Shroomish, what's this Shroomish good at? I mean, some people play for fun, you know. Not everyone's gonna use Bulbasaur and Chikorita, right? Mine are all too big. Yo, the X-Large one is actually very rare. Even when it's spawning, you can barely find one every like 2 hours of grind. Shadow Carbine is only good at one thing. The double confusion users teams. That's it. It doesn't beat anything else. It only beats the double confusion users teams. That's it. And it is the Whelmar. What's Whelmar good at? Well, if you can get the shiny one now, you can punish those safe swaps Vulpix because you have a water gun. And if you have a shadow, you're gonna hit harder. So pretty much that's like most of the Pokemons that you will see them. I think you won't be seeing most of the stuff here because like this meta is very limited and there is only like 5 to 7 Pokemons that people usually use. So now moving into the top teams in this cup. The most BBML team in this cup is Bulbasaur, Double Water. Why? Because Celio is the best safe swap, and Dewpider because it's water, so it beats other water because it has a non-water fast move that does super effective to grass, so you can fight for the swap versus the grass because since you're a bug water, so you take neutral from grass while do super effective. Except for Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur has... Yo, does poison resist bug? Does poison resist bug, chat? It does, right? Yes, yeah. So that's why Dewpider is good. The matchup versus the Fire isn't bad, but also isn't comfortable. So yes, it's a very bulky Pokemon, which you can like always rely on. Like bulk is the most broken factor in this game. The bulkier, the better, always. So if you need one team, this is your team. If you haven't hit Legend, those 3 are your best options. Nothing else. And this team is very flexible. You can literally run it in any order. You can just do this. You have Bulbasaur in the back. You can also do this. You can use Dewpider as safe swap and then save Celio in the back. Seal in the back. And yeah, very flexible. Those 3 generalist Pokemons, they don't get walled. They can hit hard on any they can hit any Pokemon in neutral or super effective. Or in neutral at worst case scenario. Most broken factor in this game is lag, Yasser. That's true, okay? Sometimes, especially when there is like a new Cubs, it is always like. The second best team, I think, if you replace Celio, if you don't have a Celio, because Celio is like kind of, you know, a Pokemon that doesn't spawn all the time, I recommend using Slowpoke. Why? Because if Bulbasaur doesn't win lead, the game isn't as comfortable, right? So Bulbasaur, you can rely on Slowpoke to flip swap. But to be honest, there is Dupider nowadays, so you cannot flip swap versus Dupider because they have very super effective bug bites. So I know people used to use Shadow Carbine, but now you don't need Shadow Carbine to beat the Confusion users. You can just run Dupider. That's it. Another team that's solid and ABB format, I think, is Shadow Vulpix or non-Shadow Vulpix. You need the non-Shadow. Why? Because you have two Shadows, okay? You need something that doesn't require shield. So it's a ABB format. This team is all about hard countering the Bulbasaurs, but it struggles versus the Dupider, which might be like the biggest Pokemon. I am not sure. I think it's always going to be Celio with Vulpix, to be honest. Like, those two Pokemons are just very safe versus everything. So I don't think I put them both in the same team, but I'm saying it, okay? This is just for like the people who watch the entire video. The best core is going to be Vulpix with Celio. Put them together and you have one of the best team. You can add like a Dupider and then you have like the bulkiest team in the game. What beats Celio? Is it Celio or Seal? I don't want to keep saying Celio and people will be like, no, yes, this is Seal. What beats Celio? Pretty much only the grass. That's it. Yeah, Seal. But the thing about Seal is that you can shield once and you're always like the first one to swap, so you have a slight energy lead. So if you land the Icy Wind, you can decide whether you should stay in or swap out or fight for swap or not. It's your decision, not your opponent's decision. Nothing can beat Seal because it can't even enter. Okay, dude. Now, you guys know, like, Bastiodon, double grass. You can use that in that strat in this cup by having Slugma, double Razor Leaf. You can choose two Razor Leafers. And the good thing about Slugma, it has Rock Throw, which does super effective damage. I think it's the only Pokemon that does super effective to Dupider. And it can beat Bulbasaur. The only problem is, and it does beat Vulpix. What does it lose to? It loses to like the water fast move Pokemons. So that's why you can cover it with two Razor Leaves. Dupider Seal. That's like the most broken team. You know what? Let me just add it. Because like Seal and Dupider are like kind of like the best two neutral stuff. So this team pretty much can beat Bulbasaur in any scenario and can beat Vulpix and also. But remember me. Okay, you know what? Draken Den. So now everyone remembers you, okay? So those three, the good thing about them, again, you hit hard from the fast move. It might not perform as you might expect. This team, like, these scenarios where, like, you're not spammy, but also you don't hit hard enough, kind of need some, you know, like, shield decisions. So be aware of that. And again, I think, I mean, I would say, like, the best team would look like this. No, not this. Like this. But I like Slugma option. Just for like, because it beats Vulpix, okay? That's the extra win that it does grab. And another team I think that's good, if you don't have a Bulbasaur, I don't like, Bulbasaur like is always like very common in day 1, day 2, like Chikorita start being used more. So if you don't have a Bulbasaur, you can rely on Chikorita. 1, it's bulkier. 2, it has Body Slam. Bulbasaur doesn't have Body Slam. Like, look at this team. This team is basically 2 bulky Pokemons. Vulpix is above average bulk. Chikorita, same. So you always might not shield them. And you save your shields most likely for the Slowpoke. Why? Because it's the Pokemon that's going to give you the alignment. And alignment is a very important factor in this cup. Why? Because it's a 3 types that beat each other's, okay? And it's, yes, RPS. But those like kind of generalist Pokemon, so if you are in a situation where you can have a better alignment, I would fight for alignment, especially below 3000 MMR, because if you below 1000 MMR, if you win swap, if you win lead, you win swap, you win game. If you lose lead, you win swap, you win game, because people don't count as efficient as the high MMR people. So you don't expect them to catch always, because not everyone count perfectly. Count like and be aware of the energy, especially like when you swap out, so like sometimes people lose track. So alignment is the cheesiest way to win below 3000 MMR. Let's be honest, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but this is what I've seen from coaching people. Because I do coaching, by the way. Moving into the next team, a Pokemon that I haven't mentioned so far. Yo, it's a Cloncher. What does Cloncher do? A Cloncher does have Smackdown, which is a better fast move than Rock Throw, and it's a water type, so you don't take super effective from water because you're a water, just water, okay? You're not like it's non-stab. It's non-stab Smackdown, but Smackdown does more damage, right? And you pretty much beat the Celios, you beat the Vulpix, and you don't lose hard to the grass, because again, you hit hard from the fast move, and you can just rely on shielding and flipping swap. Again, you don't need to risk it and running stuff like those two. You can just pretty much stick to this team here, and this team here. If you stick to those, you're pretty much playing like the safest options. Now, the last team I want to mention is just Trev-Walrein core, because I think Trev-Walrein has been sold in every cup. And the budget version of this cup, of this team in this cup, is Phantom, Sphere, Seal. That's it. Is it good? No. But you can use it. That doesn't mean you have everything has to be good to use it, right? Like if someone give you an advice, would you take it? No, even if it's good. No, I'm not going to take it, because I just only listen to my own voice. So if it became good, I'm just going to say like, oh, that was the best idea I've ever had. If it's bad, I'm just going to suck it up and just pretend that it didn't exist, or I was like dumb when I made that decision. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. And this is the end of the video. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace.